Video's recording for all those YouTubers. And it starts in 3, 2, 1.
I have
Current Geek!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special Current Geek. That's right, the Autopilot Edition, a chance for us to watch a pilot episode of a TV show and geek out about it a little bit. I'm Scott Johnson, he's Tom Merritt, and this week we're talking about Private Benjamin, the TV show. Tom?
Sing it with me. We all know the theme. Oh, wait.
No,
I can't remember.
we don't know the theme
Nobody
at all.
knows the theme.
I'm not even sure there was a theme.
There was. In fact, when I watched it, it all came back to me because I actually watched this when it was on the air back in 1981. I was very excited about it for some reason. I liked MASH, so I guess it was sort of filling a MASH-shaped hole in my heart. But yeah, it's not one of the more memorable shows ever.
No, and it did feel like a bit like they were going, hey, what if we competed with MASH with some sort of army-based comedy deal? And
so when did MASH go off the air exactly?
82, 83.
I want to say 81.
Oh, it might have been.
Oh no, you're right, 83.
Okay.
Yeah, MASH last aired on CBS February 28th, 1983.
Yeah.
And the first episode of Private Benjamin, well, actually, you know what?
What?
Private Benjamin also went off the air in 1983.
Oh, damn.
End of an era.
Yeah.
For both these great shows.
I feel like
I was going to try to create some theory where CBS was trying to fill, get Private Benjamin a running start so that it could fill that MASH would leave. And MASH would go, but all the MASH people will love Private Benjamin because it's about the military and underdogs. And it certainly didn't work out that way, if that's what they planned. Because Private Benjamin got canceled mid-season 1983. January 10th was the last episode.
And wasn't there, so there was a season 1, but the season 1 was only like 4 episodes or something.
Yeah, it was a I guess you'd call it a mid-season replacement, but it premiered on April 6th, so pretty late. They did 4 episodes in season 1. Just in April. And then those did well enough that they brought it back for an entire season in 82. And then in 83, they only got half a season. And the tragedy about the half season, if you can call anything around the Private Benjamin television show a tragedy, is that Eileen Brennan, who by accolade is the only really great actor in this series, she won an Emmy and a Golden Globe for her acting in Private Benjamin, was injured in a car accident. And so she missed several episodes. They were going to bring her back, but they canceled the show first.
Yeah, they totally did. I mean, it's actually something I've never really heard of before. Like in Star Trek Next Generation, you lost your Dr. Crusher for a second season, but they brought in a different doctor, different character altogether. Right. Not used to the idea that you would actually replace an actor with another actor to continue to play the same exact character.
Oh no, it wasn't the same character. It
was
Captain Amanda Allen.
Oh, so they were going to go the TNG route.
They basically said Eileen Brennan's character. What was her character's name? Captain Doreen Lewis. Captain Lewis is gone. She'll be back though. But Captain Allen's filling in for her in the meantime. Like it was even more so. Well, like Dr. Crusher left, you thought that was it. Oh, Dr. Crusher left the series, and now we're going to have the other doctor from now on. And then Dr. Crusher came back in season 3, and it was like, oh, we got her back. We didn't expect that. Whereas this was really just like, oh crap, Eileen Brennan can't come to the set. She's recovering from a car accident. She will be back though, so we got to fill it in. Yeah, and then the show didn't last long enough for her to come back. But so she's significant in a couple of ways. One, she's the Oscar nominated, and I think even won a supporting actress for something. Emmy nominated. Emmy. That's what I meant. And then also, was some Golden Globe action, some other stuff. She's been in a billion Golden
things.
Globe and an Emmy both.
That's right. She's been in a billion things, including the film version of Private Benjamin. So here's one of those cases where she's not quite the radar of this movie to TV transition.
No, she's more prominent than that.
She's absolutely more prominent than that. And actually, there's 2 of them because the sergeant guy is also from the movie. So there's 2 radars, really. But this idea that you go from the film to a TV adaptation and bring some of the actors with you is, I think, rare then and even rarer now.
Yeah.
And yet there they were. She moved over. She was a big hit in that film as the sort of antagonistic general or whatever she was, colonel. Was she a colonel?
Benjamin. She was a captain.
Captain, thank you. And she was like, what's she like? She's like the dean in Animal House. She's like, that's the stereotype, right? Just getting foiled at every turn.
She wants to move up. The premise in the TV show, for sure, is she wants to advance in this man's army, and the only way she's going to do it is to impress the brass, and she can't do that if Benjamin keeps screwing things up.
Yeah, keeps jacking up the system. So that's your premise. I mean, basically, it's. You remember Legal? What was the name of that movie? Shoot.
Legal Eagles?
No, the one. No.
Deborah Winger?
No, that's not it. The one where she's the lawyer, but she wears all pink. She's constantly carrying a little dog around with her, but she turns out to be.
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, that's the movie, but I can't think of it all of a sudden.
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde. Gosh dang it.
Yeah.
That's really the plot. It's fish out of water. Normally, you're just a dumb blonde debutante, whatever stereotype, and then you enter into this place that nobody wants you there, nobody likes you there, and then you got to figure out a way to fit in and then excel. It's the movie, obviously, but it's drawn out as a television series. And I can't say I'm not that surprised to see that it didn't last, because I think this is a hard one to sell. This isn't that interesting, and it's also a stereotype or a premise we've seen certainly before and well after, done in better ways. So I guess at the end of this, I wasn't like, oh gosh, I can't imagine why this didn't continue. I was kind of like, yeah, I kind of get why this didn't keep going.
I suppose. I mean, at the same time, it was the 80s.
Yeah.
Like you look all up and down that amazing Friday night schedule that Private Benjamin was part of. And it's not all that.
No,
it's all right.
It's okay,
but
yeah, it's not great though.
I'm trying to find the other stuff. The Private Benjamin was certainly the weakest part in that Friday night schedule. But.
Oh yeah, without a question. But I also kind of like the boldness of them trying stuff like this, like figuring out a way to take a film. And a lot of people really liked Private Benjamin. I remember that being a giant hit when I was a kid. Didn't ever see it, but I remember just that being a big deal. And, it takes, I think, a little bit of gusto to try to shrink this stuff down to the small screen and then succeed at it. MASH certainly pulled it off, but back then it was much harder to see that sort of stuff work movie to TV. These days you get away with it a little bit more. Depends on who's doing it, but, you could argue that Fargo is the best modern example of a very successful transition of a otherwise kind of tricky source material to move to television. And they did it pretty deftly, so it certainly can be done. But I don't know. This is just one of those ones that I'm just guessing. Had I been an adult then, I wouldn't have had a lot of hope for it. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have been like, "Ooh, they're bringing Private Benjamin home to the television." Ooh, like well, I just can't see it.
I'm trying to remember if I had even seen the movie with Goldie Hawn before I watched the TV show. I'm not sure I had. If I had, it would have had to have been on TV. Like the only way I saw movies at that age, I'm 11 years old when this thing airs.
Right.
Is the CBS Saturday night movie, the movie of the week, that kind of stuff. We would go out to see kids films, but they wouldn't have taken me to see Private Benjamin in the theater. No way.
I think Benjamin was R too, wasn't it? R-rated.
Yeah,
my mom was no way she would let me see that.
So I might have seen it on TV, but if my memory is accurate, I think I watched it later, either on a rental or when it came to TV, versus and my introduction to the character of Private Benjamin was Lorna Patterson, not Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
I liked it. I remember really, really liking it. I think what I liked about it was that fish out of water thing where she was a character that people underestimated.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, pretty immediately.
The character, if you didn't watch it and you're listening to this for some reason, which is probably most of you, as I say that, I realize.
Yeah.
She didn't not want to be in the army. The backstory on Benjamin, and you get it sort of mentioned towards the end of this pilot episode, is that her father is career military. And she wants to be in the Army. It's not the old trope of she's forced to be there and has to make the best of it, but she's no good at, the Army is going to have to learn her way. It's not like that. It's that she really wants to be in the Army. She just also isn't very good at the things the Army needs her to be good at. And all of her, except for Sergeant Winter, or wait, it's not Sergeant, but
Captain Winter, or is it Corporal Winter?
Corporal Winter? Yeah, Corporal. I don't know.
Yeah,
except for Winter, who's kissing up to the boss, right? Who's kissing up to Captain Lewis.
Yep.
Everybody else loves Benjamin. They forgive her for screwing up and stuff. They try to help her out. They're nice to her.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, for those who keep hearing us talk about Eileen Brennan and doing so glowingly, just to touch on another couple of childhood favorites that I used to watch over and over, and she was in, were movies that were actually quite similar to each other. But the Clue movie from 1985, she's in that, and she's fantastic in Clue. She's also really good in the 1976 film, which was a lot like Clue, called Murder by Death. Do you remember Murder by Death?
I hate being murdered by death.
Oh, it's the worst. But it was basically like a farcical send-up of these kind of the Clue idea of movies. Like, it was the butler in the room with the thing, and she was great in that too. And I always mix her up with the lady, the mom from your show.
My show?
No, the show that you love. You love it, and it's because it's great, and it was just on Showtime, and it's done now. And
Twin Peaks?
Twin Peaks, gosh dang it.
Oh, yeah.
Twin
I
Peaks.
can see that.
Yeah, the mom. You know what I'm talking about.
Mom,
yes.
The woman who plays Laura Palmer's mom has an Eileen Brennan sort of vibe.
And she's got the kind of husky voice and the kind of smoker voice thing going on. So I always thought they were the same people. They're not. They're totally different ladies with distinct careers all their own, so I shouldn't have made that comparison. However, she continued to work all the way up until 2011, died at the age of 80 in 2013, so not that long ago. And had a
she
nice
lived right down the road here in Burbank.
Yeah. Well, not no more she doesn't, but she did.
And she was born in L.A. She was actually born 22 days before my dad.
Oh, my gosh. That's weird to think about, isn't it? Actually, let's see. No, she would have been, my dad would have been younger. Pretty close, though. But anyway, she's great. And I just wanted to get that said early in this thing, because I think that she is probably the most compelling part of the thing. I think
she may be the only compelling part of this thing.
Maybe, probably. I mean, the lead role's fine. She's fine.
Fine. No, Lorna Patterson, who ended up really, not going on to have a bigger role, to be honest, sadly, than this one, I thought was great as a TV version of Goldie Hawn.
Sure.
I thought she did a fine job. I keep going back to saying, like, but I loved this when I was a kid, because I'm trying to remember why. Because like you said, this episode is on rails. Like, there's no surprises.
Does it bug you at all?
You know exactly where it's going from beginning to end.
Does it bother you at all that there's a lost opportunity in a modern remake of Private Benjamin? Not for television necessarily, but if they made a modern remake of the film and decided to take it new places or something, that they need to hurry up so they can get Kate Hudson in there, Goldie Hawn's actual daughter, who could play this role as well as anybody could. Like, that could be a good movie right now. I don't know who your other people are.
You really need to update this story, though, because it's, the other thing that sort of bugs you in the background, and it's really not as bad in this episode as it probably is in others, is, the jokes are, well, we got to have you come out and show the colonel what you're best at. What, is she going to have me shopping? Ha, ha, ha. Yeah. It's like, I don't know if that really plays. I mean, you could play it in a Legally Blonde way where it's not all women are like that, but she's a debutante. Yeah. She's an elitist or something like that. But that's the weird thing, is Benjamin is not an elitist. She's actually very sweet and nice and friendly. She's just not very good at stuff because maybe she was sheltered, etc.
Well, that's why it'd be hard, because if you did a modern day version, it would be Kate Hudson. I'm just, if I get my casting dream. And it's all selfies and Kardashian type behavior, right? That's what they would do. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm saying in a modern context, that's how they make this.
But that's modern, right?
They'd make it very modern, where she's constantly trying to get the right angle on her phone. They have to confiscate her phone. You're not supposed to have that in the Army. Like, I can just
But
see.
Isn't that character unliked by the other characters?
Yeah, and that's the problem. If you modern this up, you lose that sweetness you're talking about. That kind of,
because one of the things I did really like were the couple of interactions between Private Janelli, played by Lisa Raggio, and who's kind of a caricature accent, like the tough Brooklyn Italian girl. I can help you out, Benjamin. That kind of thing. Yeah. But those were nice interactions because they really were the only interactions Benjamin had with anybody else besides the captain, really.
Yeah, that's true. Now the deal with the general guy. Okay, I have a question for you because the very end of
Colonel Fielding.
Colonel Fielding. I've seen that guy in a million things. That actor.
Yeah.
When he shows up at the exercise and they're all showing off their stuff and the girl has the cut rope and all that. Toward the end this is the part I missed because the video, we had to watch this, by the way, on, what was the website we used? I forgot now.
I don't, no, it was Dailymotion.
Oh, Dailymotion, that's right. Because Dailymotion, look, here's the deal. If you're looking for some old pilot that time has forgotten about and no one else seems to have it and you can't rent it anywhere and even YouTube doesn't have some warped, crappy version of it, go to Dailymotion. You'll find it. You'll always find it. But it was fine up until that conversation, and then the audio would cut out every other second for me, no matter how I tried to play it, no matter what device,
really?
browser.
Mine was fine.
I don't know what happened. It's weird. Every device and browser I used, at the same place, it would cut in and out. I take it he's related to her somehow? Part did not come through.
He knew her dad.
Oh. Okay, that's the part I missed. From the bits I got, it sounded like, it's her dad or something, but he knew her dad. He
knew her dad. He's like, why, I served with, General Benjamin, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
You're his daughter. Well, good job. Good for you. That this car never would have been hit if Captain Lewis hadn't made me move it.
Right.
And you meddling kids.
Yeah. There's a little bit of that. I just also mentioned there's a laugh track through the whole thing.
Yeah, that's pretty normal for that era, though.
Yeah, I don't think you get away from it from then, but it's really stuck out to me for some reason. It really jumped. Like as soon as I heard it the first time, I went, "Oh, right, we're TV here." And this was clearly filmed, so it looked like a movie.
Right, because they were trying to capture that movie feel from the Goldie Hawn movie on the TV show.
Yeah.
Although they eventually switched to video partway through the next season.
Oh, they did. I'll bet that looked real bad. That probably looked
terrible.
They
just go ahead and they start doing a lot of, you notice this pilot episode, almost everything is outdoors, right? There's a couple of scenes inside the barracks tent, but otherwise everything's outdoors. As the show proceeds and the budget gets tighter, I suppose, they start shooting on video and they start doing a lot of interior scenes.
Yeah, I could see how that would go. Now, the fact that you only got four episodes for the first season and it, was canceled pretty quickly in the second season.
Yeah, and the show won a People's Choice Award for Best New Comedy.
Yeah, and
people liked it.
People won Emmys and Golden Globes for their roles in this show.
Eileen, by people you mean Eileen Brennan.
I mean her, yeah. I think she's the only one. By people I mean one person. But still, like that's kind of a big deal. So I have this feeling like they really thought they must have had something, and then the audience must have been just a big drop-off. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it must have been then, but the fact that they had some accolades in terms of acting and stuff. But, like Wavy Davy in the chat room makes a good point. This is the most anyone's said about the property of Private Benjamin in 30-plus years. You're probably right. This is going to be the episode to end all episodes on Private Benjamin information. Because no one talks about it anymore. It's not this cultural zeitgeist thing, but I felt like when I was a kid, it kind of was.
Yeah, it was a thing, and it was popular, and it got decent ratings.
Yeah, IMDb does say it has 3 seasons. Why is that?
Well, because you have the 4-episode first season, you have the full second season, then it gets canceled midway through the third season.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
So those first 4 episodes of 81 are considered a season.
Right, because in the second season, there are 22 episodes.
Yeah, they got a full second season, and then they only got half of a third season.
So that's still, what's funny is that's, okay, so here's a canceled show after, this looks like pathetic, right? Three seasons or 2.5 seasons in, they cancel it.
I mean, all told, it's not even quite 2 full seasons worth of episodes.
Right.
But it spans over 3 seasons.
But what it is, I think there are more total episodes here than the entirety of the UK Office, Oh, that's a bad example. Let's say I'll go back to Fargo. I think there are less Fargo total episodes because they only do 12 episode
like
seasons.
30,
yeah,
right.
At the most, there's more of this than that.
There's 3 seasons. Yeah.
So our definition of what a show needs to be has changed so much. This 24 episode minimum thing is just
it's crazy.
How are we maintaining this? How were we doing this ever back then? It's ridiculous to me.
Now here's the other thing. As we deservedly talk about how timeless Private Benjamin, the TV show, is not. It was written by Don Rio. Don Rio wrote a lot of great stuff. He worked in the business on a lot of things that you know. He even created Blossom.
Whoa.
And the John Larroquette Show.
Well, that explains why Eileen Brennan was on both those shows as guest.
Yeah, probably
stars.
There's some relationship there.
Yeah.
So Don Rio is, he's not a hack. And the director, Bob Sweeney, did the first 3 seasons of Andy Griffith, as well as directing all kinds of other hit shows like Hawaii Five-0.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no lack of talent.
Mm-hmm.
You got Emmy Award-winning performance from Eileen Brennan reprising her role as Captain Lewis from the movie. Granted, probably the only other significant crossover is what's his name? Hal Williams playing Sergeant Ross.
Mm-hmm.
He's Ted Ross in the TV show. I think he's like TJ Ross in the movie. The minor role in the movie gets a little more screen time on TV. But you've got decent people working on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And cast with less well-known people went on to succeed, like Cheers. None of those people were stars. Ted Danson wasn't a star. Woody Harrelson was not a star until after Cheers had become big. I don't know. Maybe what's her face played Diane. She had a little bit of a.
Well, she kind of did. She's like what's his name from NYPD Blue. She jumped out early, thinking, well, now it's time for my movie career, which didn't really materialize much out of except for a couple.
But again, even she wasn't a big name going in.
Yeah.
So it's not like Private Benjamin was doomed because they didn't have big names. That's just not the way it worked back then.
You're right.
This was a talented crew. And as much as we keep having to prevaricate and say like, but it did get 3 seasons. Well, not really 3 seasons, but I don't know. It's one of those weird things that I think what's so funny to me is that you've got awards, you've got major cast members who did great things. You've got a few seasons. It's not like it went a half a season and then was immediately cut. It won awards and no one remembers it.
Yeah, nobody.
It's nowhere.
I didn't know it existed
until
you and I.
You can't even stream it. You can't even buy digital copies of it.
Nowhere. Go to justwatch.com and search for it. You get nothing. You get the movie, but that's
nothing.
It. Yeah.
Warner Media owns it because Warner created it for CBS. Yeah. Which is why at first I thought, oh, it was CBS. I guess it'll be on CBS All Access, but no, CBS doesn't own it. So maybe it'll be on that new Warner streaming service that's coming out from Turner with all the Turner networks and stuff.
Maybe. I mean, digging that stuff up and putting it on there would make sense if you're trying to have the biggest breadth.
Pad it out.
Yeah, but nobody's going to probably watch it. And just to give Don Rio a little extra push here, this dude's responsible for recent stuff even. He co-wrote and is as credited as the creator of The Ranch, the hit Netflix series, which is that comedy show deal. He wrote that, wrote 2.5 Men for a bunch of time, Till Death. Everybody Hates Chris, one of my favorite shows of all time. He wrote and created the Rodney Dangerfield show, Rodney, which was fantastic. I loved that thing. And you mentioned a few others. But the guy, he's got stuff. He's no small timer. It's just this one just didn't, it didn't sing. It didn't stick. And what are you going to do? You work hard and you make 30 episodes of a thing and then no one remembers it for the rest of time. And it's kind of a bummer. Like, I feel kind of bad for everybody involved. Not necessarily that this ruined their careers or anything. Most of the actors went on to do other stuff. Our lead actor here, she kind of pulled away from everything and spent and got real religious. Got converted to the Jewish faith and really focused there and won all kind of awards, like rabbi awards and stuff. So I tried to go down a big rabbit hole with her.
She's got a successful career.
She did. She just wasn't in film.
Not as an actor.
Sure. So it's not like they're
as a cantor.
Yeah. This is all true what you say, but I don't know. It kind of bummed me out. to know that its final resting place is a very bad VHS transfer on dailymotion.com. And it maybe deserves more than that. I mean, like I said, I didn't even know this existed until you bumped into it, a month ago and said, hey, we should do that since that exists. And I said, yeah, we probably should. And I thought, oh, well, I'll just run to my local Amazon Prime and download it. But it's lost to the
I
wind.
was all prepared to pay $1.99 to download it. I assumed it might not be on any streaming service. Nothing.
I'd have been happy to do that.
Is this the first autopilot that we've done that is this much of a failure as a TV show?
Well, what was that weird thing we watched that was a dog as a talking detective partner?
Oh, right. That never even got picked up. You're right.
I think that may be the winner, but I think this is close, mainly because this is a proper effort. Like, this doesn't feel like slapped together or just the pilot, and we won't do anything else unless it gets approved.
It's a successful primetime show for at least 1982.
Yeah. And that just, it reminded me, like, how many shows from that era? Like, let's see, top TV shows.
Puchinsky.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Is Private Benjamin better or worse than Puchinsky?
The answer is we'll never know. So in
There's no comparison.
In 82, here were your hot shows. Okay.
Okay.
Some of them you're gonna know, and some of them you won't. MASH, Newhart, Happy Days, Three's Company, The Love Boat. Dukes of Hazzard, Cheers had come online that year, so those things were about to get good. Dynasty. Now, there's the one I would point to and go, nobody thinks or talks about Dynasty at all. Now, we probably go get the episode, I'm guessing, because that thing, ran for 10 years. But, it's Dynasty. Nobody cares about Dynasty. They like the Jeffersons.
You still hear people occasionally make reference to Dallas, but not Dynasty.
No. This is also the year of, like, Magnum P.I. was still rocking it.
Yeah.
Family Ties had just
like
started.
this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that didn't go well. I didn't see it, so I can't really speak to it. But there was, Little House on the Prairie was still doing a thing, Archie Bunker's Place, but no one thinks about Knott's Landing.
Wait, Jester Wood says there's a new Dynasty series?
Shut up. No. Really? What? Come on.
I mean, they are rebooting everything, so I'm not shocked.
We got to do Love Boat one of these days. Can we put that on the list? We know we can get that.
I'm adding it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of these people were probably on there that we're talking about today. But, what's the show Real People? You don't know because it went away.
Oh, I know that show.
Do you? I have no idea.
It was the counterpart to That's Incredible. It was sort of like a magazine show where they would bring on, they would have like magazine style segments about people who were very interesting but not celebrities.
This is a crazy year. Remington
Real People. Yeah. You never watched Real People?
No, I don't think I did.
The Dynasty reboot is a CW show.
Wow. All right.
Airing now on your local CW stations.
Do you remember One of the Boys?
No, I don't remember One of the Boys. I don't remember any of the boys.
Do you remember this one? The Powers of Matthew Starr? No?
Ooh, that one sounds vaguely familiar, but I couldn't tell you what it's about.
Matt Houston? I mean, there's a...
Yes. I do know Matt Houston.
My point is, like, there's tons of, like, terrible, terrible TV that at the time was having a successful 5-6 year run that nobody remembers now. And I feel like Private Benjamin right up in there. It just doesn't have a reason to be remembered. And it's our job as archivists, Tom and I, to swoop in here,
storytellers,
save this thing from drowning in the seas of time, and bring it out here so you all can hear all about the madcap adventures of Private Benjamin. All right, what else do we have to say about her? I don't even know, or about this show. There's a bunch of let's see. Hold on here. Oh, you know the guy here who plays the let me get the name up. Plays the sergeant. His name is, hold on, Hal Williams.
Yes.
He's great. I just want to put a big thumbs up for Hal Williams. He's great in movies he's been in. He was great in this for what little he was in it.
He was in the movie Private Benjamin?
Yep. He's been in lots of recent stuff like Parks and Recreation, The Mayor, Flight. He was in that movie Flight. Bunch of stuff. Still working. Guy deserves a shout out. He was also the dad on 227, which I was a fan of. And he was also on Sanford and Son a lot. That guy's great. So props to him. Sorry it didn't work out. He's still working, still kicking it. Good job, Hal Williams. Nice.
Do you know what other TV show spans almost exactly this same period of time as Private Benjamin.
Let me guess. Same period of time?
Almost. The one I'm referring to ran from November 1981 to September 1983. So starting a little later, ending a little later.
Tales of the Gold Monkey.
Great show.
Not it?
No, that's not
okay.
it.
That was definitely then. How about Voyagers?
Oh, I loved Voyagers. That was a time travel show.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very early crappy time travel show.
No, not talking about Voyagers.
T.J. Hooker.
Oh, no, well, obviously, Shatner fans are going to love T.J. Hooker.
Yeah.
Nope. T.J. Hooker went a lot longer.
I did, actually. You're right. 86. Did okay. All right, I give up. Knight Rider. I have no idea.
Father Murphy.
Oh, that's a British thing.
Starring L.A. Rams defensive tackle Merlin Olsen.
Oh, right.
As an 1870s frontiersman named John Murphy, who teams up with prospector Moses Gage to shelter a group of orphans.
Yeah. Who needs Buster Scruggs when you can go watch that is what I'm saying.
And you know who created Father Murphy?
Who?
Michael Landon.
What? Oh, and it's his old buddy from the show. He used to be on.
Right. Merlin Olsen was on Little House on the Prairie.
Look at all these connections, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Yes, Dead Polymers in the chat.
I think it shows the power of Private Benjamin that we've ended up halfway through the episode about Private Benjamin talking about Father Murphy.
I mean, yes, you're absolutely right. And I don't know what else to say about the show because it's there. I mean, I wish I could even recommend it, but I don't want anybody to go to Daily Motion and watching this horrible cut. And they actually have more episodes on there. For all I know, they have the whole gamut. But, if you want to seek it out, I suppose you can. I just think you have better options these days. And
oh, wait. Demita Jo Freeman, who played Private Sims, was also Private Sims in the movie.
Oh, another radar move. Sweet.
She's more of a radar because we barely hear from her.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's rare. And all of that is pretty rare. I'm a little surprised this treatment never happened.
Oh, I'm sorry. Demita Jo Freeman played Private Gloria Moe in the movie, but they felt it was important to change her name to Private Jackie Sims in the TV show for some reason.
All right. So I was just about to say I'm surprised Police Academy never did this. I'm wrong. There was a series attempt. I just didn't know about it. 1997, there was a Police Academy
I remember
series.
the Police Academy series. It was bad.
That's what it says here. It says it was real bad.
It's plain bad. I remember thinking it was bad then.
Yeah.
The thing about Private Benjamin, I think that fascinates me, and one of the reasons I wanted to pick it was it's obscure, but I loved it.
All right.
I watched it, I think, in my room.
Yeah.
Like I was, I had my TI-99 hooked up to a 13-inch television, and I'd even turn off the TI-99 to watch some Private Benjamin.
Whoa. It's Tom Merritt we're talking about here, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Is that the very box back there?
No, it's a different one.
That would have been cool.
I sold my original one to a nice couple from Ramsey, Illinois.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that. I want to go to Ramsey, Illinois.
I put an ad in the Bond County Shopper, and I was stunned that people from outside Bond County
found
my ad.
Oh. I think you say existed, but you're not going to say that.
Existed.
No.
I'd never been outside the county.
Well, anyway, it's Private Benjamin, and you can get it if you want to go find it. I think we did the work so people didn't have to, and it's at least an interesting, historic dip into television, which is what we do on Autopilot. That's the fun of it. Sometimes it's really bad, like that. What was it? Poochie? Go get Poochie? Puchinsky.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with Private Benjamin is my motivation in selecting it was nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I want to see what's there, what's happening. We have been so lucky that several times we've done that, both on the original incarnation of Autopilot and this new CurrentGeek version of it, where we just go based on nostalgia and then find a wonderful treasure, right? Or find some really cool thing about it to geek out about. And you know what? In archaeology, when you dig, you don't always find hidden treasure. And that's kind of what happened here is I'm like, oh, Private Benjamin, I remember loving that show. And then I watched it and was like, yeah, it's there's nothing special there anymore.
No,
that's hard to say. It's harsh, but it's not like it. Here's the thing. It's not like it was bad.
No,
I think if it was bad, we'd have more to say about it. Like, can you believe that one scene where they did this or they did that? There's some mild sexism going on. It's 1981.
Sure.
It's to be expected. I'm not excusing it, but it's not so much that you're like, wow, I can't believe they said that, right? Like, it just isn't. It doesn't stand out in any way.
It just sort of exists, and it's serviceable and gets the job done, but isn't really remarkable. And I guess that's better than Puchinsky. Now,
so when Warner finally puts it out, and you're able to buy episodes and stream it, please feel free to quote better than Puchinsky.
You put that on all your, you know what?
All your marketing materials.
Yeah, every bad thing you have, put that on the box. Real quick here, this is interesting. This just reminded me of this. I was at a university thing earlier tonight where I was part of a Q&A, and we had a room full of 150 or something students, and me in a chair and someone else in a chair asking me questions. And while they were throwing my website up, they threw past a bunch of art of mine, and one of which, or a couple of them, were MASH drawings of Hawkeye, a drawing of Colonel Potter, and a drawing of BJ Honeycutt. And as we're scrolling past it, I look out in that audience and I go, I think none of them know who these guys are. So I said, does anyone know what MASH is? Nobody, not a hand. And these kids are all 20 to 25. I mean, I feel like somebody should know, but nobody except my daughter knew what MASH was. Nobody.
All right. Let's play this game.
All right.
It's 2018.
Got it.
MASH went off the air in 1983.
Yeah.
So that's 35 years ago.
Right.
Okay. When you were 25, it was what? 1994.
4 or 5, yeah.
Okay. Wait, 25 years.
Wait,
sorry.
25. It's July. So part of the
MASH
year
went off the air 25 years ago, right? No, 35.
35 years ago. Yeah.
35. Right. All right. So and these kids are what, 20?
20, somewhere between 20 and 24 in that range. Yeah.
Okay. So in 1992.
Yeah.
Something would have had to been 1960 to 1957 is the equivalent year.
Oh, my gosh.
TV shows from 1957. I mean, basically, it's in 1994, would you have known what Gunsmoke was?
Okay, that's a good point. However, I'm going to counter that with saying my discovery of MASH was never as a real-time catch-it-every-week show. It was repeats that I watched well into my late teens.
Yeah, but there's no repeats anymore. Yeah. Because I actually discovered Gunsmoke because they showed repeats on Channel 11 in St. Louis. But they stopped that eventually.
But don't they still have, not repeats, but like syndication though, right? That's how I saw it, a syndication. So I'd see every night on Channel 5 after the news, they would play an episode of MASH.
They don't do that anymore though.
I guess that's not a thing
And
anymore.
kids that age certainly don't watch TV like that. They watch Netflix, they watch YouTube.
Right. So, well, give me a show. It was in 57. Let's see if I can know any of it.
Okay, these are debuts, shows that were new in 57.
Okay,
which is probably the wrong end because we're talking about MASH, which ended in 57.
Yeah. So this is actually an advantage because technically they would have carried forward and we would know about them more. So we're actually cheating here in the favor of why it's easy to forget this stuff. So go ahead, give me the thing. Give me a name.
The Guy Mitchell Show.
No idea. Never heard of it.
Tom Terrific.
Freaking fart in the night. No idea.
Sugarfoot.
I have no idea what Sugarfoot is.
How about this one? The New Adventures of Charlie Chan.
Oh, now that's some good racism. That would have been fun to watch.
M Squad.
No, none. I don't know any of these. Do you know any of these?
I know Charlie Chan.
Yeah. So
I'm picking ones that I don't know on purpose because I'm pretty sure if I don't know them, you don't.
I also raised my.
You know, the ones you do know: Wagon Train,
sure,
The Woody Woodpecker Show,
sure.
I don't know, the Californians TV series, a Western. Do you know that one?
California, no, or the Californian.
Yeah. The Californians.
I thought that was a movie, but apparently it was a TV show. Maybe it was.
They made it into a TV show. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Perry Mason debuted that year.
Sure, kind of, sort of. Know who he is or know what that show is. It was a lawyer thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the classic, Perry Mason is the classic courtroom drama.
Sure.
Where at the last minute, the lawyer says, but wait.
Now, here's the thing. Chatham says nobody under 30 has seen any of this. And this is where I differ.
Leave It to Beaver?
Leave It to Beaver. I'm at least familiar with because, again, repeats. Right. But I raised my kids, one of which is still technically a kid. I raised them to appreciate things like old stuff like the Dick Van Dyke Show. My son and my daughter, it's one of their favorite shows. They are 18 and 21. This is not their era at any stretch, but they discovered on Netflix, they fell in love with it, and they gained an appreciation for it. And that meant it was going to be easy for them to go, hey, what's this Andy Griffith show about? Hey, what's this other black and white thing about? Like, they've gained an appreciation for other generations' entertainment, and I'm proud that we've done that, because I think it would suck if anyone under 30 hasn't seen these things. Like, why not broaden your horizons a little bit, Wavy Davy?
Although you were like unsure about Perry Mason, and to me, Perry Mason is like iconic.
I don't know why. Maybe I just thought he was boring when I was younger or something. You know, like it's, courtroom, boring. I'd love it now. Because I love that. I love like court procedural stuff now.
Classic-TV.com has TV schedules.
Oh man.
So okay, give me a night. Give me a night of the week.
Tuesday nights tonight.
All right, Tuesday night. So do you want to watch Sugarfoot, Name That Tune, or the Nat King Cole Show? Because that's what's on at 7:30.
Please describe Sugarfoot in more detail. What is it?
We got to figure out what the hell is Sugarfoot.
I
think it's about a horse.
Is it?
Yeah, that sounds like a horse name, doesn't it?
Sugarfoot. Here we go. Sugarfoot, it's an American Western television series aired for
69 episodes.
Sugarfoot. Okay, I'd watch Sugarfoot over those others. Yeah, it's a Western.
Yeah,
that's cool. It's black and white. It looks fun.
All right, at 8 o'clock though, while Sugarfoot is still going on, the Phil Silvers show will start on CBS. And the Eddie Fisher show on NBC.
I don't know who either of those guys are. Eddie Fisher.
But really, it all kicks in to high gear at 8:30 on ABC with the life and legend of Wyatt Earp, or CBS is the Eve Arden show. And then 9 o'clock, we get the half hours. Ooh, those half hour shows are back to back. Are you going to watch Broken Arrow on ABC, To Tell the Truth on CBS, or Meet McGraw on NBC?
Meet is spelled M-E-E-T or M-E-A-T?
Yeah, like you're going to meet him.
Ah, it's too bad, because Meet McGraw with meat would be really cool. I have no idea. Eddie Fisher, who's that? Is he related to Carrie Fisher?
Eddie Fisher is Carrie Fisher's dad.
Oh, it's his dad. Her dad. Why does he sound like the famous chess person? Who am I thinking of?
Bobby Fischer.
Oh, Bobby Fischer.
Yeah.
Oh, he was great in
Meet
Empire
McGraw's
Strikes
a detective show.
Okay, I'd watch that.
About hard-hitting Detective McGraw.
Yeah, you have to meet him, and then he does his dirty work.
He's not a Superman. He's just a guy who tries to do the best he can and is interested in saving his own neck quite frequently.
Now, see, I could turn that on and just have it play in the background, no problem. That's interesting to me. Eddie Fisher and singing and variety show, F that with a dirty hose. Not interested. That was a little more graphic.
Well, variety shows were huge back then, though. There were several of them on Tuesday night. Got the Phil Silvers show, the Eddie Fisher show, the Nat King Cole show, the Red Skelton show, the Bob Cummings show. At 10 o'clock, the Californians is on. I know you're turning to NBC for that.
I'll watch that, yeah, because it's a Western, and at least I get a little genre out of there, and it's not another freaking people singing deal. It's not Sonny.
You know who was regularly on the Eddie Fisher show? Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh, Mary Tyler Moore, eh?
Mm-hmm. And Debbie Reynolds, obviously.
I like both of them.
Yeah.
They're fine. I mean, again, these aren't our generation, you guys. That's the point of this discussion. This exercise is to show, it's to teach me some empathy for those who are 30 and younger who don't know what MASH is. I understand now. Tom has made it clear.
Check this out. Yeah. Check this out. Eddie Fisher had just concluded his 4-year run on NBC. Before the Eddie Fisher show premiered, Eddie Fisher had concluded his 4-year run on NBC with a 15-minute variety and musical comedy series called Coke Time with Eddie Fisher.
Whoa. Was that a Coca-Cola reference, or was he snorting Coke?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. All right. He wasn't just horking white up the nostril.
Also probably doing that. No, it was sponsored by Coke.
Throwing shade on the legacy of Eddie Fisher right here on Current Geek. All right. Point made.
I'm not accusing Eddie Fisher of anything.
It's a good point, and it's well made, and now I agree. And I guess I should stop being incredulous about people who don't know what MASH is.
Well, and I think it's been exacerbated by the fact that there isn't syndication anymore. I think you brought up a good point. We watched Gunsmoke, Brady Bunch, Love American Style. I don't know what all, because that's what was on in the afternoons or on weekends in syndication.
Right.
Children don't do that today.
Nope.
In their off time, they watch YouTube.
Yeah. And then there's a few little more cultured ones, like those in the Johnson family, who will go to Netflix and binge on something old. But again,
but they'll choose it.
Yes, that's the point. It's not me coming home from school and going, what's on? It's
the Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island. All right, fine.
Right. Oh man, Gilligan's Island. Can we do that one sometime? We got to do that one. Put that on the list as well. This list that you have somewhere.
A 3-hour tour.
We'll do a 3-hour episode for that. How about that? Bad idea? Probably. We won't do a 3-hour episode. That's a bad idea.
We probably won't.
No, but I will call you Skipper the whole time. All right, there you go. Private Benjamin is the thing. Buddy. Go check it out. What are we doing next month then? What do you think?
Okay, we never talked about next month, and you threw out a couple of really good ideas. I had penciled in Love American Style. And the reason, and let me make my plea before we decide for sure.
Okay.
Love American Style is a forgotten television show.
Yeah,
it is one of those shows that you probably barely remember.
I don't know it at all.
When I was going down a rabbit hole about Private Benjamin and other shows and stuff like that, Love American Style spawned other pilots, including Happy Days. Happy Days started as a segment on Love American Style.
Oh, wow. Oh, really?
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Love American Style was an anthology show. Every episode would be several different vignettes about love. And there was no through line. There was no plot arc. So you'd always get different stories every week. And the network would use this to pilot ideas. So they would try out an idea by making a segment for Love American Style, and there was one about the Cunninghams that they did,
and they kept it for the Brady Bunch, or I mean, for Happy Days.
For Happy, and then they liked it. It worked on Love American Style, so they spun it out as Happy Days.
Yeah,
so Love American Style is kind of the Uber pilot. Like if we watch the pilot of Love American Style, we're watching the pilot of a show that is made of pilot.
Right. It's literally pilot. Primordial pilot.
It is.
PP.
It's the pilot.
Yeah, it's PP. That's what it is. I would watch Love American Style. I have no idea even what to expect. So let's do it. That's fine with me.
American Style.
So it's in.
But I have Love Boat, Dynasty, and Gilligan's Island all on the list now.
Yeah. Someone in the chat recommended that we put on the list. I can't see who did it, but somebody said put Faulty Towers on there. I wouldn't mind doing that someday. It's my favorite sitcom of all time.
It is. It's already on there.
Okay, good. It's my favorite sitcom of all time. We will absolutely get to that because we'd be dumb not to. I watch that at least 4 times a year. I love that show so much. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Hey, we may be
putting ourselves in a Daily Motion situation with Love American Style.
Oh, well, you have to see. Yeah, you're probably right. Well, it's all right. We'll make it work. I mean, look, all right. We're doing the hard work so people don't have to. That's what's happening.
So you don't have to.
We're gonna go, but before I forget, Legal Geek's covering some cool stuff. The dispute between Oklahoma and Ohio State over which university owns the Block O trademark and branding. Just in time for the end of college football season, everybody. Enjoy. So that's coming right up from our very own Legal Geek, so do check that out. A reminder, if you like this show and you like what we're doing, you like these autopilot episodes, or maybe you like our best movies of all time episodes, or maybe you just like our regular old sort of news roundup discussion episodes, you can be a part of why the show continues to exist by heading on over to patreon.com/CurrentGeek. That's patreon.com/CurrentGeek. And Tom intimidatingly holding that mallet is not to say do it or else. That's not what we're saying. We're saying, and audio listeners, you should see this. It's devious, what I'm seeing on the screen. But that's not why we're doing it. We're doing it because we love doing it, and we would love your support. And thank you to everyone who already does. That's patreon.com/CurrentGeek. Tom Merritt, anything to mention before we go?
Yes, the brand new audiobook of Gallium is out in Audible. If you would like a space adventure about a salvager who's being hunted down just for discovering real history, check out Gallium as read by Ms. Veronica Belmont at audible.com or wherever fine books are sold.
That sounds good to me, for reals. That's going to do it for us. Thank you all for listening, and don't forget to check out currentgeek.com for all of your website needs. That's where all our links are. You can find the archives of the show, the YouTube stuff, all that, available at currentgeek.com. It's going to do it for me, for Tom, for all of you. We'll see you next time.